Republican Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming is about to head to that meeting with administration officials, and he joins me now. Senator, always good to have you with us. Thanks for being here today.
Great to be with you, Martha. Thank you.
What's your frame of mind as you walk in there? What are you going to be pushing for?
Well, you know, it really is this city a tale of two cities, and President Biden's going to have to make a decision in which way to go because, as you just heard, a bunch of Democrats last night came out and said $6 trillion isn't enough. They want $7.1 trillion, basically free things for everyone. Our group of Republicans is going to go and make a proposal, which is a different solution, and it focuses on physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, ports, airports, broadband, waterways, things that people think of when they think of infrastructure. We leave off all of those other things, such as big subsidies for electric vehicles and cafeteria trays in high schools that are recyclable and the so-called climate justice. We leave all of that away. We're making a sensible proposal based on what we passed out of the Environment and Public Works Committee last Congress that passed unanimously, 21-0, including me and Bernie Sanders both supporting it. But the buck stops here, as the old saying goes. President Biden is going to have to make a decision.
Let's take a look at this from the Washington Post editorial board. The problem is the total amount Ms. Capito supports is far smaller than the president's number. And Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has said the GOP can't go any higher than $800 billion. They say the GOP should abandon this red line. How do you feel about the $800 billion red line, Senator?
Well, I think that's actually a high number. We are very clear. We made this clear to the president the other day in the Oval Office. We are not going to touch the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which was so highly successful to get our economy going again and stimulating, getting people back to work in record numbers. There are things that we need to do. We need to make sure that electric vehicles, more and more, are coming on the road. We need to make sure that they are paying their fair share because they do wear and tear on the roads. We know there's a massive amount of money that's already been sent out to the states that hasn't been spent. We know California has a surplus of $75 billion. States are asking for waivers to use some of that money for infrastructure. We do get plenty of money in from the gas tax, about $40 billion a year. So I think there is a deal to be had if the administration wants to focus just on this hard infrastructure, core infrastructure, things that people think of when they think of infrastructure.
Well, you just said the operative phrase, if the administration wants. So you just said that the 2017 tax bill is not open for negotiation. And I was talking to Larry Kudlow earlier on the program about the movement in the corporate tax rate, which went from 28 to 21 as part of that bill. And we were discussing the fact that Joe Manchin has suggested that he might be somewhat flexible in that number. The White House has suggested they might be flexible, maybe move the corporate tax rate to 25%. Are you saying that that's a red line? If anything touches that 2017 bill, you all walk out of the room?
That is not part of the negotiations in any way. We know that raising taxes at a time when the economic numbers this past week were very weak. We have 8 million people, actually 8 million jobs available. Only 250,000 people came back to work. We're sending money out to people, paying them more to stay home than they make working. I mean, there are real fundamental problems. And if you go further into taxing and spending, I think we're going to have bigger problems with inflation, which is now at an 8-year high. All of these problems that are out there will be made worse if you raise taxes and do additional excessive government spending, which is the direction this administration is taking.
Well, we look forward to hearing what goes on in there and how much negotiating there actually is to be done on this. It's fascinating. Thank you very much, Senator Barrasso. Good to have you with us today.
Thank you, Martha.